For your 6-1 Eagles. And after the game, the guy I call Cars spoke about the big Monday night win over the rival.
We had a good game plan. You know, they just did some things early that got to us, and we just knew we just had to weather the storm, keep our poise, and we knew the plays would be they'd be there, and we kind of just started clicking. So again, we just knew we had to just weather that storm, stay together, and we made the plays.
What a game by Carson Wentz. Our very own Mike Garafolo, our buddy, caught up with Zach Ertz, one of his favorite receivers, a tight end, after the game, who sang his praises and the praises of his quarterback.
Zach, I just saw a scene over here. Brent Selleck says to Carson Wentz, "You're a beast," and he's saying, "What does this mean? What is he just trying to stay in check?"
I think Carson's just so humble. He doesn't want that notoriety. He just wants to go out there, play football, have fun. Loves his teammates. I mean, you could feel the energy that he plays with each and every game. I think that whole play was a huge turning point in the game, so it was a huge play for us.
Where's the confidence of this team right now? I mean, it's got to be sky high, right?
Yeah, it's high. I mean, we've never really been in this situation since I've been here in Philly. So we got a lot of confidence right now. We're playing with a lot of energy, and we got a lot of playmakers on this team.
Enjoy it, man. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Another huge game for Ertz, guys. He leads all tight ends in targets and catches, yards, and touchdowns. He had just an incredible start to his season. One of the few things I was right about in fantasy football this year.
Nice.
Carson Wentz, though, been playing lights out over the last 9 starts. He's only lost 1 game since week 16 of last season. He's got a better record than guys you might have heard of, like Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger and Aaron Rodgers. Carson Wentz, who is playing better than him right now in the NFC?
Nobody. And here's the problem. Be afraid. Be very afraid, because he's 24 years old. This guy is still about 20 months removed from a loss to South Dakota in the Fargo Dome. All right, he's way on the way up. And there's a reason Jay Gruden this week was talking about how did he get to Philly? I don't know how in the draft he ended up the division rival. He's almost frustrated about it because he knows he's going to have to play him. One thing I do want to put a stop to, I don't like the Favre comparisons anymore. Everyone says he sees running around, breaking tackles as Favre. It's almost insulting to him at this point. Different. Let me tell you, as a second-year player, Brett Favre is probably packing a hammer on the sideline and on the bench coming in for the Magic Man. The Lambeau crowd is saying, get Ty Detmer, that they wanted Favre benched. It's a lazy comparison. Wentz is bigger, he is faster, he is ahead of the game, guys, and right now he is the MVP. He is the MVP of the NFL, Carson Wentz.
You know, I was watching the game yesterday, and I couldn't help myself but to fall in love with Carson Wentz. Now, we love relationship analysis.
Yeah, what do you got?
For me, you know, the NFL is like a woman that I fell in love with when I was 8 years old. And I had a long relationship with her, and it was great while I was in it. So now I see these young players, it's like I see a bit of the love I used to have. And it's like a relationship that I know KB is in, because KB fell in love with Carson Wentz. And I like Carson Wentz. We all like Carson Wentz. But yesterday it went from liking his play to loving everything he does on the field. And, of course, it's the scrambling. It's the beautiful throws. It's sometimes when he sits back in that rocket and he needs to throw a rope, and he throws a rope right there to Zach Ertz. But more than that, though, it was when he was leaving the huddle, whether he was headed back into it or going to the sideline after not making a conversion, after them having a bad play and interception. The leadership quality. Watching him on the sideline, looking at these grown men that are clearly older than him, but them hanging on to every word that he's saying and then following his lead. That's what made me fall in love with Carson Wentz. I can go X's and O's all day. I can tell you how great he is. But it's not about that. There's something special about this guy. I was listening to Gruden talk. He kept saying South Dakota strong. This young man is clearly the MVP. There's nobody playing better. Let's give him credit. Face value right now, Carson Wentz could be the best quarterback in football.
The Dakotas are watching. They'll be yelling, North Dakota strong! North Dakota strong!
North Dakota Twitter's big.
North Dakota Twitter's big. I'm going to leave it to the Kurt Warners, the Tony Romos, and the Troy Aikmans of the world, the experts at quarterback play, to break down the X's and O's. But I will say this. This guy was thrown into the fire his rookie season right before the start of the year. Obviously, you have the Sam Bradford trade because Teddy Bridgewater goes down, and they're basically telling him you were going to be the third-string quarterback. Now you're the starting quarterback of the Eagles, and they start off 3-0. But that's a rookie growing pain season. He had all offseason. Kay, you've documented it very well in the offseason. He brought out all those receivers to North Dakota, guys like Torrey Smith and Nelson Aguilar spending a week in North Dakota. And this is his team. And you see the confidence, and you see what Zach Ertz is telling Mike Garafolo in the locker room. Confidence is high, but there's no shock. There's no surprise. This doesn't come from nowhere.
Yeah.
This is their leader. And Kyle, how old is he? 24
years old.
And I give credit to the Eagles front office chart. And it's Sam Bradford and Chase Daniel. We're set. we're going to go and get the quarterback of the future who's already paying dividends.
I hear you on Carson Wentz, and you can always say, oh, and the Browns are just watching what he's doing, but it's not. It doesn't stop at Carson Wentz. If Carson Wentz was with the Browns right now in their current situation, like Jared Goff last year is a perfect example, it's who you surround them with. It's the coaching staff. It's what Doug Peterson is doing, starting the game, all those penalties, and somehow figuring it out, showing sort of like the intangibles that this quarterback has as a leader. And you look at, they did everything they could to surround him with the best situation. Adding LeGarrette Blount, they're among the league's best on third down. They added him. They were bad at converting short yardage last year. That's why they brought in the veteran. And just having guys like Zach Ertz and taking a risk on a guy like Alshon Jeffrey on a one-year deal, who's taking a lot of the. Every time you see Alshon Jeffrey, he's got 6 receivers, 6 defensive backs around him. So he's allowing Zach Ertz to get open and do these things. So it doesn't, for me, doesn't end at Carson Wentz, but it is, to your credit, like what this front office and this coaching staff has done to surround him. Now, are you okay, quickly, before we go to Will Selva, with everybody? You have to share your boyfriend.
Yeah.
God,
the indie band that went big.
We have an open relationship. That's right. You guys are more than welcome.
Do you though, really? Because I feel like it's like you're in a relationship, but then the person like is a rising star, and then they get bigger, and they're on a bigger.
I knew him when.
And now we're okay.
I knew Weezer way back before the Blue Album. I hope so. Okay. I'd be crushed if you wouldn't.
Will Selva out in the NFL newsroom. And for those of you just watching maybe for the first time this morning, this is a sign that Kyle Brandt thinks that Carson Wentz picks up on.
We know that. He knows.
The TV lens.
Only in Kyle's world. You know what I mean? Only in his head do these things happen. Right, Kyle?
I'm talking to him right now. Just go. You do the news. I'll handle the wins. Okay, if that's okay.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Tell him I say hello, by the way.
I will.
Okay, let's start in Pittsburgh. If wide receiver Martavis Bryant is truly happy about being with the Steelers, he sure has an odd way of showing it. On Monday, Bryant was a no-show for meetings. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported soreness in his surgically repaired shoulder. Colts GM Chris Ballard did not offer a timeline last week, as you might recall, as to when Luck will return to practice. Philly all about the Wentz wagon, as we've been talking about in this segment. Baseball superstar and diehard Eagles fan, as our very own KB pointed out. Mike Trout, giddy about the Monday night win over the Redskins, tweeting out, how about them Eagles? And he has been a season ticket holder the past 4 seasons. He tries to go 4 to 5 home games and always tweets out before and after games, hashtag fly Eagles fly.
I know what you're doing, Will. You're just trying to make Kyle jealous. I see what you're doing.
a little bit, right? But listen, all I was going to say is Mike Trout. We were talking to Takeo Spikes last week, and he's the captain of the all-neck team.
Yeah.
Mike Trout has one of the best necks in sports, Kyle.
Yeah, he's a 6-tool player. I didn't even think of that. It's a great neck-gen stats, we call them, Will. Good pull on that.
Great stuff from Will Selva. If we keep talking about Carson Wentz like this, you're going to want to stiff-arm somebody, aren't you?
I might.
It's going to make you angry.
It might, Kate. You're starting to get to me.
After this, we've got angry runs.
Here we go.
Lev Bell and what some of the other guys did in this week's edition of
Angriest Runs of the Week.
Angry Runs.
Can somebody take out the summoner?
Good Morning Football is presented by the Audi Q5.
Good morning, football to you. Live in New York City, we've got your highlights, of course, from Monday night action between the Eagles and the Redskins, all coming up, but Week 7 officially donezo, so it's time to talk about what we learned. Nate, what did you learn, buddy?
What we learned. All right. The art of a good argument. Whether you're family or close friends, arguing is a necessary evil to balance things out. To argue, by definition, is to exchange or express diverging or opposite views, typically in a heated or angry way. This goes way back to Cain and Abel, 2 brothers who never saw eye to eye. Even our cartoons displayed disdain amongst each other. I mean, look at Ren and Stimpy. You idiot! Wow. And Tom and Jerry, they lived together their whole lives and couldn't go one day without beating. Spy versus spy, I would even say these guys might even be brothers, literally tried to kill each other every chance that they get. Sometimes it's all jokes with the ones you love, like Martin and Pam, time, and other times the same person you kick it with the most be the one that you crack jokes on the most, just like Will and Carlton. And speaking of kicking it, Solange and Jay-Z got into it. And they got over it. You know? Sometimes you got to kick sense into the ones you love. Now listen, sidelines on the arguments on the sideline, they're not new in sports. Some of the best to ever do it, they yell and scream in the heat of the moment. The GOAT of the NBA, Michael Jordan, was a fierce competitor. He once punched his teammate and now Warriors head coach Steve Kerr in practice just to send a message. In the GOAT of the NFL, Tom Brady, he's barked at teammates on the sideline before, just like we're seeing right here, to get things right. The point I'm trying to make, if there is no love lost and there's improvement post-squabble, then no harm, no foul. Actually, next time you see a spat on the sideline, if there's no fist fight, who cares?
Okay.
Wow, Nate.
Sideline reporter perspective on that.
I love it. It's drama, and a lot of times it's just tempers from a bad play. Or something. But Brady and Bill O'Brien is legendary.
Right.
Tom Cable is probably the one coach in the NFL.
And we saw Doug Baldwin get into it with Tom Cable. What happens? After that, he gets in the end zone.
Yeah.
The team picks it up. Seahawks win the game.
Solange wasn't messing around.
No.
She came. That was years of frustration of being
Street Fighter
boiled
kicks
up.
right there.
Crazy. I don't want any of that.
Solange takes.
I mean, she was coming hard.
Good morning, football. Way down there in Louisiana, there's something brewing in the Big Easy this season. After starting the year out 0-2, the Saints have now rattled off 4 straight wins and sit atop the NFC South standings. It's the usual characters, Breeze and Cam Jordan and Mark Ingram. They've all been great, but what you might not realize, and what I learned this week, is the incredible production the Saints are getting from their rookie class. There were a lot of rumors of Patrick Mahomes' interest on that first night of the draft, but the Saints selected Marshawn Lattimore of Ohio State with the 11th pick. He's now started 5 games. He had a big pick 6 against Matthew Stafford, and he looks like the lockdown cornerback the Saints have been so desperately searching for to solidify their pass defense. Ryan Ramczyk, the 32nd pick. He has started every single game this season, and he has helped keep Drew Brees upright. Safety Marcus Williams, he goes in the 2nd round out of Utah. He has started every game, and he picked off Cam Newton in the team's first win. And then there's Alvin Kamara. Went in the 3rd round and is averaging 96 yards from scrimmage over the last 3 weeks. That's not it, though. These guys are all rookies. Trey Hendrickson, all over the field on that rejuvenated defensive line. And linebacker Alex Anzalone, he started every game before suffering a shoulder injury that's kept him on the IR. Look, the Saints have had one legendary draft class in their history, the 2006 one. Look at these names. Reggie Bush, Roman Harper, Jari Evans, and then you got late Marcus Colston, and you got Zach Streep. All these guys were key pieces, and Rob Ninkovich isn't bad either, to their Super Bowl championship team. That one is legendary down in New Orleans. Well, 7 weeks into the 2017 season, this year's draft class may have an argument as the best Saints draft class ever. So hats off to Sean Payton, to Mickey Loomis, to Terry Fontenot, and the rest of the New Orleans front office. I don't like doing draft grades. I hate doing draft grades. But 7 weeks into the season, the Saints draft, that's an A+.
Awesome. I like that.
Awesome. Well great, both sides of the ball. I know we saw what the Eagles did last night, but Saints in the NFC, look out. Okay, here's what I learned.
What'd you learn?
So we didn't really get to talk about this on the show because there were so many highlights. Joe Thomas's incredible snap streak ended at 10,363 snaps. He, of course, tweeted yesterday having surgery on his tricep tendon. Surgery soon, rather. Tough break. Hate to see this, but I started thinking, so what are the other streaks that we should be paying attention to that deserve our attention? And I went on Twitter and I asked some of our followers, guys. They said 243 games in a row. Brady said, let's go! That's a good one. Tony Romo successfully announcing the play before it happened streak. That's a good one as well. 79 games in a row of announcers trying to say...
Le'Veon Bell, patient.
Trying to avoid to say it so they don't have to. I just did that right there. But here's some other ones that I think that you guys should pay attention to. Let's start with Alex Smith, guys. 15 consecutive passing touchdowns without an interception. That is like 4th best ever. That is an insane thing he has going on. 4th longest streak in NFL history. Peyton Manning holds that record. He's got the Broncos this week. So I'm really interested in that because in 8 games as a Kansas City Chief, Alex, they've picked him off 5 times. So that may end... Peyton Manning has it. Peyton Manning has it with 20 touchdowns, no interceptions. Awesome. But Alex Smith up to 15, throwing downfield's pretty impressive. Keep an eye on that one, and it might break this week. Sorry. How about the Lions, guys? It's not all streaks can be good. Lions have gone 58 consecutive games without a 100-yard rusher. We talk about this all the time. You're looking at the last time it happened, Triggs.
That's Reggie again.
Reggie Bush, 2013,
Thanksgiving.
playing the Packers. I gave you guys the Lions schedule, and I want you guys to tell me when this streak ends this season. It's got to end because
Listen,
Amir Abdullah had 94
Yeah, it was
rush
that close,
yards.
right? Against Minnesota, I think.
Got a little bit injured. So what do you got?
Okay, I think it's going to be Week 17.
Okay.
Detroit's going to be playing for their playoff lives. They're at the Packers, and I think the Packers are going to be out of it.
It's the Packers again. And listen, the last time he did this and he ran 100 yards, Aaron Rodgers was out of the game. If game script is a thing and the Lions can get up and give the ball to Abdullah, that could happen. I like that.
I'm glad you did this week because I think it happens on Sunday.
You do?
Why?
I like it, Peter.
Sunday, I feel like this is it. They've got a nighttime game against the Steelers. Nation watching, they're going to hear this stat. It's a new bingo board. Everyone's going to be talking about it. It's not been since 2013.
It's absurd.
Boom! There we go. There it is. Amir Abdullah breaks it.
I don't know if it's going to happen this week because you got the Steelers offense. They're going to be passing the ball, which means the Detroit Lions will need to be passing the ball. I say it happens the week after and the week after that. So we're going back-to-back weeks with 100 yards, Packers and Browns.
I'm just so ready to not say that.
Maybe it doesn't happen this season.
Streak. No, it has to happen.
I hope so.
That streak's crazy. How
It's
about
nuts.
this? Here's for your fantasy football. 8 straight games with a touchdown allowed to a tie. But not least, we have a streak here on the show. Peter Schrager did some digging here. He's got a 4-week streak going of wearing the same tie on remote. That would be so that's Minnesota. That's Indianapolis. And we've got Miami.
All right. What's up with that, man? You own one tie?
It's like cobalt.
He's like a
cobalt.
It's a good streak you got going, bro.
He's like a cartoon character. It looks like the same outfit.
Yeah.
But it's different.
So
versions
Homer's
of
been wearing the same outfit for 30 years?
Yeah, but it's different outfits.
It
You look
is?
at their closet.
Like Charlie Brown Peanuts shirt.
Oh, it's like Jay Leno with denim shirts. He's wearing a denim shirt every day for a half
It's the
century.
Matt Hamilton flannel.
4 weeks straight.
looks the same.
4 weeks straight. What's behind that?
Find laziness.
You find a good tie. I mean, you can't even have a switch-up tie? That's the ringer? The gray one.
Hey,
I just
I don't know
throw
what
my
kind of
screen.
resources you think we have in the Schrager household or Good
Yeah.
Morning Football, but that's a nice tie. I'm going to wear it.
It is a nice tie. We'll
It's
see
okay.
if we see it this week. Or no, not this week, next week. But yeah, if you guys have any streaks, I'd love to hear them. Hashtag GMFB. Streaks to pay attention to is what I like.
Laziness, he said.
I mean, the tie's okay. It's not a great
decent tie.
It works.
It goes with everything. It's like the perfect gray
I guess it does go with everything.
slate.
You should have like
Pretty
a
boring
crazy,
tie.
ostentatious tie this week, like a light-up rain door.
boring
Pretty-
tie.
All right. You know what's not boring? I learned this week that I already knew this. I'm just going to say I relearned it. I love non-kickers doing kicks. Sometimes this happens in other sports, other positions. I remember Jose Canseco came in to pitch once. It went terribly. So in this Cowboys-Niner game, Dan Bailey, the Cowboys kicker, gets hurt. What to do? You go to Jeff Heath, their starting safety, who comes in and just starts kicking. Look at this. This one, Jeff Heath, off the Heath bar and doinks it. Jeff Heath said, I didn't want to come in and look like an idiot, but it was the most fun I've had playing football in a long time. This guy's a safety for the Dallas Cowboys. He says it was the most fun I've had. So you won't believe it, but I went into the archives. I went into the archives, and I don't want to just do Ocho Cinco, blah, blah. I found some great ones. You guys want to come on a journey with me to 1979, the year I was born? Let me show you John Anderson in 1979 with a neck roll and a straight-on number 59 kicker at Lambeau Field. That's a 39er field, not extra point, right over the crossbar. I love you, John Anderson, wearing the neck roll. How about this guy? He was an amazing kicker. Wes Welker. Wes Welker, a